Welcome.
Happy New Year.
I feel like
we've done a Happy New Year.
We have done. Yeah, we did the episode where you ran away to the Caribbean.
First in person Happy New Year, isn't it?
Yeah, like I feel like we just haven't been. We haven't got like this. We're back to our routine now.
Yeah, that's it.
We were doing so well. We were just like every Friday, bam, 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 new episode. We're taking over the world. Yeah. And then Christmas happened. Fucking Christmas and New Year. Yeah. I think it's because it's a midweek one.
It's a weird one this year.
Just disrupted everything. Like Christmas disrupted one week, then New Year disrupted the next week. Then you ran away to the Caribbean, and it was like a month of just disruption.
Yeah.
Whereas now we're back.
It's out of order.
We're back, baby.
We're back.
Yeah. God damn. It's good to be back, and you can see the microphones. We're taking this up in the world. I know we said that last time, but this is the first time we've both had the microphones in person.
I think we're talking about getting a Dad-Jitsu branding. It's going to feel like full like WWF at that point, I think.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I'm going to do a Joe Rogan. Just keep the microphone nice and close to your mouth.
Oh, God, yeah, we've got to do that, haven't we? We've got another thing to think about.
That's it.
Oh, God.
What we'll probably find is we're just going to end up wearing the mics again.
Yeah.
The mic handles were fucking... they were pissing us off.
No one could hear what we're saying.
That's it. No, it's good. Yeah, it's good to be back. It's cold. I've got gloves on. And a hat.
It's fucking cold today.
And my leopard print jacket, which we've never actually addressed.
I know. How haven't we addressed that by this point?
I don't know.
It's been like 5 episodes of you wearing it.
Yeah.
It's just too much to talk about. We can address it now if you like.
Yeah. I nearly had the full outfit. So obviously leopard print like shorts in jiu-jitsu is a bit played out now. Like everyone's bored of it. But I bought some a while back because I think Craig Jones was wearing them. I thought it was funny, so I bought some, and I was like the only person. I think I'm still the only person in the club. But I think there's another. Kath's got some, so
okay.
There's a girl who's got some.
Okay,
but the boys for my 40th birthday bought me some leopard print Crocs.
We did.
So, and now I saw this leopard print fleece. It was kind of leopard print camo. It makes it slightly more manly.
Sounds a bit more manly for sure.
It was in a men's department. Okay. In a shop.
Okay. Was it the only one there? Maybe someone had moved it and put it in the wrong place.
It was the only one.
Was it with a size? Was it sizing like 8, 10 and 12?
It's all clicking together. When I've looked it up online as well, I can only find an advert of a woman wearing it.
Mate, just so progressive of you.
So I'm basically wearing a women's coat. Yeah. I've got women's shoes. The good thing I actually found, like I'm a size 8, which is like the largest women's size generally that you get when you look at women's shoes. Yeah. Not a size 8 dress.
I was thinking that you were going full on with this.
I've gone over to women's sizes now. I'm not a medium. I'm a size 8.
Yeah, I'm an 8, but I feel like a 10.
What I found is I was going to buy some Vivo Barefoots.
Okay.
And the men's colours were just shit. It was like black and silver. I was like, these are shit. So
pastel.
I went on the women's colours and they were really good. And they go up to a size 8. So I just bought some women's ones. Fucking banging.
Love it.
But yeah, I've yet to wear the the leopard print jacket, leopard print shorts and leopard print Crocs. I wore the shorts and the Crocs the other day, but I forgot the jacket.
Okay, I'm going to propose something. Episode 21.
21. Okay, that's our top 1%.
The milestone.
Yeah,
full leopard.
That will be quite cold, but I could wear spats.
Yeah, mate, just wear some layer up, but full leopard.
Okay.
Can we get you like a furry mask as well, like a leopard mask?
That's. You need to remind me later of something that I want to bring up because that's just reminding me of something. Okay. It's jiu-jitsu related as well, and it's like beef.
Okay.
So remind me that later. But if you want to buy me a furry mask, then I'm up for that.
Cool. I can't wait.
Yeah. I feel like I'm leaning back too much again. What's going on?
You look all right.
Anyway, great to be back. Let's dive straight into some questions. We've got a couple of nice questions today. And we've just got some some news and stuff to talk about from us really as well.
Yeah, we've had a few things happen.
Hopefully you care enough to hear.
Yeah. Do you want to do that first or do the questions?
Nah, let's just do the questions.
All right, first one. Forgive me, I don't know who this is from because it came through on your Insta. Thoughts on cupping and acupuncture?
That's from the big Kern.
Okay, cool.
The gas tank.
Hey, Kern.
Cupping and acupuncture. Thoughts? Not really well proved in the literature.
Okay.
There's no real good quality. So, okay, sorry. Let's start again. Why are we getting cupping and acupuncture? Like acupuncture gets used for lots of different things. the first time I'd had acupuncture, in fact, actually the only time I've had acupuncture, was when I was working in drug and alcohol services, and they used to do auricular acupuncture, so acupuncture in your ear, and then they do qigong breathing exercises, and it was supposed to help people with their like cravings and help people with their kind of, you know, recovery from drug and alcohol problems. That was in an NHS setting, so I'm assuming there was some good quality data that it did help people.
Yeah.
Again, it's, you know, mental health and cravings and things like that. There's no real like objective markers that you can look at. Like you can't say, oh look, their bloods are getting better, and like it is subjective. It's like, do you find that it's helping? So I guess if you put enough of that together, you could argue that's objective data because it's numbers and stuff. But
still fairly anecdotal.
But it's anecdotal. It's people saying it's helping. But that was the first introduction I'd had to it. I'm assuming Kern means more like for injury and rehab and things like that. And as far as I'm aware, there isn't like really good quality data to back it up as an intervention. However, that being said, I always think just because something isn't necessarily proved in the data doesn't necessarily mean it doesn't work.
Yeah.
And there's lots of like factors to whether something's going to work or not, isn't there?
Yeah.
You know,
definitely.
So I think with anything like this, so let's just shout out some stuff: foam rolling, like muscle scraping techniques like Graston or whatever it's called, Chargois, that sort of thing. Like the two that were mentioned there, even like massage, things like that. If you find it helps, then do it. Like if you feel genuine relief from whatever it is that's like illing you, then that is helping you, isn't it? Like even if it's placebo, even if it's short-lived, if you place value in it and you do it and you feel a positive benefit, just keep doing it.
Yeah.
You know, whether someone goes, yeah, but that doesn't work. Well, there's no data. Yeah, but I feel better. Should I stop doing it? No, don't stop doing it. Just
100%.
keep doing it.
If it feels like it works, it works. You know, I think there's people that are so down on placebos because it's like, well, it's not real. It's like, well, it's real to me.
Well, the thing is, like, I'm not an expert in placebo and nocebo and things like that, but like, there's got to be some sort of stuff going on in your brain that enables the feel of it working. There's changes occurring, aren't there? There are things being released and pathways firing off and that kind of thing. So it's doing something, isn't it? The belief that it's doing something is doing something. Belief is a powerful thing, isn't it?
Yeah, really
faith.
Well,
faith is a powerful thing. I don't have faith in the fact that this is recording, so I'm going to go and check.
I don't think you'll ever have faith in that. You've.
Okay, we're 8 minutes and 33 seconds in.
Battery all right?
I think so, yeah. I did charge it, yeah.
Okay.
So,
yeah. Have you ever had much cupping done?
I did get cupped recently. I always feel like it's like a weird form of like spooning, but like
it sounds dodgy.
Well, I guess you could cup your.
That's
testicles.
what I always think of cupping, and especially when they talk about wet cupping and dry cupping.
It's the first time I was ever cupped was at school.
Oh yeah, was that your PE teacher?
No, you might remember this because you're of a certain age. It was when you get your BCG.
Yeah.
Just before, so BCG, if you're one of our younger listeners, watchers, was like an immunisation. I better not say the V word.
Not
it
in
was
world.
like an immunisation that was regularly got. I don't think they do it anymore. I think it might have been replaced by other immunisations.
Yeah. They certainly don't do the injection.
Yeah, so but you had to have like a test. It was like the one that everyone was worried about because it was such a big needle, and you had like
which it totally wasn't.
Yeah, not that. But you had like a 5 needle like in like your forearm. That tested. I think that basically saw if you're allergic to it, and then if you didn't have it, you had it in your arm. But it's quite a big scar, so it must have been a big needle.
Maybe.
I don't know. Anyway, you'd get the scar in your arm. But during that whole thing, like we'd line up outside like the nurse's office and you go in, there was a doctor there doing it. I think it was a doctor. And part of that test is you had to drop your trousers. He would cup your balls and you'd cough.
Yep.
What's that for?
It's to make you see if your balls moved, I think, when you coughed.
What does that mean?
I don't know. It was the fact that he made me hold his balls too. That was the weirdest part. I was like, what's that doing? Is this standard? You do this to everybody.
I mean, what's going on? Do you know what I mean?
It was harsh though.
I've never had a good answer to what that does.
No, I think it was some sort of conspiracy.
It's just fucking pedos.
Oh man, yeah, pre-register pedos, weren't they?
But yeah, that's the first time I was cupped.
Yeah,
I don't think he's talking about that sort of cupping.
No.
We can answer that.
Yeah, I suppose Kern can answer that. Maybe. I've had it done, the non-pedosexual cupping. I've had that done a couple of times. And I had a back injury from jits. And I used to go to a guy in Andover, and I'd never heard of it, and he was doing the massage. He said, we could do some cupping on the area, and we can do all the way down your back. I was like, yeah, fine, whatever works. And I had not accounted for the kind of bruises that they leave. And I had this line of the cupping bruises either side of my spine, all the way down my back. And I remember, I think I've maybe seen it a couple of times on like UFC fighters. So
swimmers and things like that.
Yeah.
I think Michael Phelps had some.
That's right, yeah. Vic had never seen this before.
Right.
So I went home and I showed her. She was like, oh my God, what has he done to you? Like, and we were going on holiday. I think we were going to Cornwall next week. And she was like, we're going to be on a beach in a week, you twat. Like, and I was like, oh, okay. It kind of cleared fairly quickly. But yeah, I looked like that scene out of The Matrix where Neo, he comes out of the goo and all the stuff's in his back.
Yeah.
It was, but I think it helped. I don't know whether it helped or not.
I'm not sure. I had it on my shoulder.
Right.
I don't know if it helps.
I'm not sure.
Like, I think like my shoulder did start feeling better. So, but this is what I mean. Like with these things, it's so hard to know whether they work.
Yeah, because you don't know the actual cause of what makes it better, do you?
Yeah.
And
like to get a good research study on that. Again, I'm not like an expert in sports injury research, but like, let's say to really prove that had like an intervention, like a physical difference, maybe you'd have to do like an MRI on the joint or the muscle, whatever. Then have the treatment, then do another MRI, then maybe another one later down the line. And then like you'd have to have a control study who've got the same injuries, exactly the same injuries, but they don't have the treatment, but they all have imagine the cost.
Oh my God.
And really, what are we learning?
Yeah.
Like just to find out where the cupping works. Like no one's going to do that research.
No, because the result doesn't, it's not the payoff that you...
Yeah, but no one gives a fuck.
Exactly, yeah.
Like cupping's not making anyone any money, is it?
No.
It's not like proving medicine works. That's going to make you millions and millions of pounds, billions of pounds.
Yeah.
Like who's selling fucking glass cups?
Yeah. Exactly.
Like no one gives a fuck about that. So no one's going to do that study. So then it just comes down to like subjective, like, yeah, I think it made a difference. And that's a shit study.
Yeah.
That's like someone who's like a research zealot is going to be like, yeah, but that's subjective data. That means nothing.
And then it blows it out of the water, doesn't it? Yeah.
So I think if you feel like it helps you, do it. If you've had it a few times and you think, I'm not sure about that, don't bother.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, it might just be that. It might just be individual.
Yeah.
I find that with a lot of stuff, various like supplements I take and this and that I try it and I'm like, well, I don't really know whether it's doing anything or not.
Again, it's like
there's no huge change.
You need to do a proper bit of research study just on yourself. Like get a nutrient level blood test, which are actually quite widely available. You can go to different companies like Thriver, and get like a blood test to look at like say vitamin D or vitamin B like levels in your blood. Take them for like 3 months, the supplements, and then retest again. But most people aren't doing that.
No.
So again, it goes down to like, does it make you feel better?
Yeah.
Maybe it's placebo, maybe it isn't. But if you've got the money and you can afford to do it and you don't mind doing it, and it's not a huge like imposition in your life, just fucking do it.
Yeah. I think maybe it's an expectation thing as well, isn't it? I don't know, sometimes I'll take a certain supplement that's really well marketed. And think, oh my God, I'm expecting for it to be like the limitless pill. I feel like a superhero now. And when it doesn't happen, you're like, oh. But you're right. I think the data would be quite the way you can quantify it, isn't it? I mean, I'm terrible at gathering data on myself. I mean, I've just...
You are rubbish at it.
I'm terrible, man. I mean, we'll go into this now, but I am on day 4 of a fast.
You are probably 3 hours away from 96 hours deep into a fast.
Yeah. And I just thought I'll just do it. It's a bit of a last minute thing. I just didn't weigh myself. I just thought, oh fuck it, I'll just do it. It's a New Year thing.
Amateur hour.
Absolutely. It was just I was going to do it for 48, and I did 48. I did a jiu-jitsu session at like hour 46, something like that, which was as you can imagine, very hard, gassing out a lot. And I said to all the boys there, I was going to do the 48. So as far as they knew, I was going to go home and have some food. And then on the way home, I just thought, do you know what? I'm just going to keep going. I've heard a lot about the 4-day fast being really good. There's lots of good biochemical stuff happens after day 3. And I think that's the thing. The whole fast, I'm probably proud of myself for the most is the fact that the food was like so close, and I just decided, you know what, I'll just do it all again.
Yeah.
So then day 3 was the hardest. They say day 1's the hardest because your habits of eating and stuff. But definitely for me, day 3 was the hardest.
Really?
Because the novelty of like, oh, I'm fasting.
Yeah, day 1 surely like it's going to be hard because like
it's physically hard.
You're getting hungry, and there's your blood sugars are sort of going down a little bit, things like that. But like there's a novelty factor, isn't there? Like you're motivated.
Like, just I'm fasting. Yeah. And then day 2, I did jits, so I was talking to the boys about it, and it's kind of all this, and so that was a bit of a novelty factor. And then day 3, it was just like I'm only just over halfway, and I feel like shit. I've got no energy. I'm proper cranky. I've got to teach all day today. The kids have been fairly hard work in the morning. It was just like, so leading up to midday on Thursday was definitely the slump for me. And then after midday, it sort of started to get a bit better. And then today I woke up, I was buzzing because I'm just like, it's that last couple of miles of the marathon sort of mindset.
Yeah.
You're like, 2 o'clock today, I get to eat. And I've been I was saying to you earlier, wasn't I? I was so like orgasmic about food. Just looking
what's your post-fast meal going to be? How are you breaking your fast?
Well, I'm gonna go for healthy fats probably, and just real as healthy as possible. But I'm gonna ease myself in because I eat like a fucking Labrador most of the time. I'm such a greedy git, but I don't want to do that. I want to sort of ease myself in with like a few nuts and banana maybe, and then have a nice meal with the family tonight. And then just ease myself back in because I don't want to undo anything or like feel shit because I've overeaten. And that was the main motivation for it. Really, was just I think I overeat too much, and especially over Christmas. And I was in the Caribbean with a band for New Year, and the food out there was all laid on for the band, so it was 3 meals a day, and you could have 3-course meals 3 times a day, which of course we did. And I just felt my stomach was out here, and I just felt so fat and full all the time. And I just thought, I just need to do this.
Yeah.
I've been saying this for a while. I want to do a long 4-day one. I thought this is the perfect time. And I think, to be honest, now I'm going to do it every year. I've set like a little tradition for myself, at least that one every year, and then look at maybe other fasting throughout the year. But the other thing that's really hit me was just the brain fog, man. Because I haven't got the fuel. I feel all right today. I feel a bit better today, but day 2, day 3, man, just couldn't think straight. Couldn't do basic like sums in my head or string a sentence together or think of the word it's mad. Makes sense, obviously, because you're depleted, aren't you?
Yeah. And I think it's important to sort of tell that story though, isn't it? Because really like fasting, as much as there's like positive benefits, really only really gets spoken about in a positive light. Yeah. Like, do you know what I mean? So people are like, oh man, like there's so much clarity. I'm just like running like a superhuman. It's like
that happens at the very end for me.
Maybe, but like also you're forgetting your own name because you're so hungry. Like, that's the reality. You do need fucking food to exist and operate at a high level.
I mean, in the main, it was easier than I was expecting it to be.
Yeah, like, I'm well impressed. I'm sure I could do it, but I don't want to do it.
No, it was obviously the hardest times were meal times at home when you smell the food. The other thing that has gone through the roof for me is my sense of smell.
That's crazy. See, I wouldn't have picked that. Like,
particularly
that's so
food,
isn't it?
Like Mike came to the gym the other day and he had a salad, and it wasn't like, oh, smell a salad. I could smell every element. I could smell the olives. I could smell the kimchi. I could smell the beetroot. It's just like, so my body's just like, yes. And I'm like, no. It's just that constant battle.
Yeah. I wonder if like certain foods you're eating are like clogging you up. I wonder if you're not like you're not reacting so well to like dairy or gluten or something like that. Yeah. So like you're feeling it like your system's a bit like clogged up with like phlegm and stuff.
It might just be
affecting your
sense of, or it might just be like what some people say, all that primal stuff starts to come up where you're like,
fucking survival. You're like,
I
need to find food.
I can smell a fucking rabbit over there. I I mean, at the moment, I'm looking at you. You look like a giant steak in a hat. You know, I'm just. But yeah, I want to do that. I've got a friend of mine who I sometimes go deer hunting with. Tom, shout out to Tom Hawkins. He trains as well for does jiu-jitsu, but I have said to him what I want to do at some point is do a long fast, but then go hunting with him. Just see what happens. See if that kind of primal...
You just shoot him dead.
Yeah, and eat him.
Shouldn't have done it.
I had a fast, now I'm a cannibal.
Turns out I shouldn't have done it.
I fucked it. Yeah, it's, you know, I'm looking forward to the benefits. It's been hard, but I feel great that I'm nearly there. You know?
Yeah.
It's but yeah, next time I'll gather some data, I think.
Yeah, but you were like 84 or something today, weren't you? I reckon you've probably lost about a stone.
Mate, I was...
You look a lot slimmer.
Do I? Okay. Well, I was in the Caribbean. I didn't weigh myself there, but I was probably 90. I mean,
You're eating three course meals a day. Like you're going to be at least because you were about 88 before you went, weren't you?
87, I think, something like that. And then and so it's probably that. I mean, it literally got to the point where it was so
not exercising.
Gigging, but you burn calories doing that. I went to the gym, but it's like a fitness suite. There's not much there. Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
You're not doing jiu-jitsu.
Wasn't doing jiu-jitsu. Yeah. No, it's not that kind of deal. And it's just really hard. We did some swimming in the sea, but it was nothing like no red line stuff really.
No.
So yeah, it was, and that kind of I knew that was going to happen, and obviously Christmas, and so I just green-lighted myself for all of it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And we drunk probably too much.
Happens, and doesn't it? It's have a good time.
Yeah, but that's when I made the decision when I was out there. I was like, I'm doing this. I'm going to do it. I'm at least going to do 48 hours.
Nice.
Yeah, but guys, try it. See how it works for you. You know, it was. You're not going to die. That's the thing that I think in today's we're so overfed in our culture, aren't we? And I think a lot of people have said to me, God, how like you're on day 3 or day 4? How are you like surviving? I'm like, because
the advice given on this podcast is largely opinion based. Please consult a physician before you make any decisions about your health.
Do a 14-day fast. You'll be fine. You'll probably be fine.
You're not going to die.
You're not going to die.
You might die.
Probably.
You're probably going to die.
We need like a little tagline underneath. We are not liable for anything said on this podcast. Terms and conditions may apply.
Everything said on this podcast is most likely false.
Yeah. We are largely talking about our ass.
On to the next question.
On that bombshell. Should we go talk about bombshells? Let's go for this question. How to be sure you're using the grappling dummy the most efficient way outside of class? I don't know who put this, but I'm guessing it's a white belt.
I think so, yes.
Fairly loaded question, this one. I
have said on previous podcasts that if it was a choice between never doing jiu-jitsu again and using a grappling dummy, I'd just never do jiu-jitsu again. I think it might have been like lockdown has given me like traumatic...
Well, grappling dummy,
yeah, like
PTSD.
Coming back to jiu-jitsu and having to teach classes where people were doing jiu-jitsu on grappling dummies was fucking painful. It was so bad. Like an hour.
Yeah. It's like practicing guitar. This is how it feels to me. It's like practicing guitar on a fucking Guitar Hero guitar.
Yeah, with just like buttons.
It's like, it's kind of, you get an idea of it. And I've talked about the fact I've done it before in the past, but it was largely out of necessity because we were in lockdown.
Yeah.
Now they just sit in the garage looking all sorry for themselves. I never use them because it's just like, I'd rather just go train.
So lonely. Yeah, look, I'll be honest, like, I just wouldn't bother. Like, I would find a mate and do jiu-jitsu with him. Like, we're in a position now where you can just do jiu-jitsu with people.
Friends who cuddle.
Yeah, like, message people, like, try, like, if you're forced into doing it, like, I don't really have the answer of how you should use it correctly. I don't think there is a way of using a dummy, like, correctly or efficiently. I guess you just practice moves on them. Like, practice a Kimura, practice an armbar.
They're good
like, you could do some, like, drilling, like, speed drills, like Toriander one side to the other. I guess you could create like a fitness, jiu-jitsu fitness session where you're like, right, I'm going to do an armbar on one side, go to knee on belly, transfer to the knee on belly on the other side, do another armbar, and keep doing that for like 2 minutes. Then I'm going to have a minute's rest. Then I'm going to do Toriander guard passing for 2 minutes. Like,
they're good for that kind of passing drill.
I guess definitely. That, but like, is that better than doing 2 minutes on, 1 minute off? I'm just making these like intervals up, but just because that's what I just said, on an air bike I don't think it is. So let's go back to when we were talking about the ecological stuff.
Okay.
Like practicing on a dummy, if we're going to say ecological is like a good sort of approach to how to learn skills, it's fucking useless.
Yeah, there's no feedback whatsoever, is there?
Like, 'cause you're not, like, when are you going to, like, unless you're planning on doing jiu-jitsu on a dead body, which I guess you could do, like, it's fucking useless. So if you're then setting up a jiu-jitsu conditioning circuit, just do it on an air bike.
Yeah.
Because it's going to have as much value as doing it on the dummy.
I mean,
and,
yeah.
like, just get a real dummy. Get a mate who's a fucking thick piece of shit, i.e. a dummy, and do jiu-jitsu with them.
Yeah. At least the arms and legs move.
That's got value.
I mean, yeah, going back way back to when you were talking about drilling, I think the thing I enjoy about just drilling with another person is just, you say you're not a fan of it. I think I'm a bit of a fan of it just because of the pathways that can be carved by just repeating that motion and getting the muscle memory. But I'm never one to like, I'm going to drill for that amount of number times or, that amount of time. I'm more just like want to focus on the movement until I feel like it's better, if you know what I mean. I think there can be a very gym bro mindset of drilling of like, I'm going to do that 100 times and then it's going to be in there. So that's not necessarily true. Because what you're doing then is you're focusing on the numbers rather than getting the skill in your head or in your body. That's the I do the same when I practice instruments. Is just you use that practice of just trying to carve that pathway, but focus on the thing rather than I've done it 60 times, 70, 80.
It's weird.
It's a bit. I think that's the wrong way to do it.
I think you're right, and it's weird. Like one side of me as a coach wants to see like 20 youth trainees all partnered up, like just drilling knee slice passes. One side, boom, come back. Other side, all uniform. Down. I'll be like, yeah, I'm fucking doing a good job. Like they're like really going to be like hitting that in part and training, and maybe they will. Like that's fine. But the other side of me is like when I'm doing that, I'm like, okay, I'm doing it, but like, this isn't what's going to happen in sparring.
Yeah.
Like, they're not giving me the right reaction. They're just lying there and I'm moving their legs around and I'm knee slicing and I'm basically warming up, I suppose. But maybe this is helping me, but like, no one's doing that when I'm in sparring. They're not lying back with their hands over their head chatting to me about how my day was, just letting me move their legs around as I knee slice.
Yeah.
So how much value is this having? I know we could ask them to give the right reactions. Yeah. But I still do think, like, even, like, then we are getting into sparring. It's like, well, why don't we just say that person's going to try and do a knee slice and you're going to try and stop them in a specific way. So eventually they get it, but you're just going to try and frame them away. You're not allowed to set up, like, any sweeps or submissions or anything like that. You've literally just got to hold them off with your frames. Maybe you're not even allowed to move your frames. Like, again, I know that isn't exactly what's going to happen, but I feel like now there's a little bit more value because this is what we're going to encounter in that moment. So if we can get round that with the knee slice, those frames in that moment, that is a snapshot of what might happen.
Yeah, but I think it's probably going to be at the most valuable when you're a bit, as an individual, you're further along your journey and you're further into the coloured belts, because then you know what 30%, 40%.
Yeah, no, I agree.
As two white belts, you got 0 and 100, haven't you?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, and so you're either like fucking resisting everything they're doing, and they're not getting any value from that because they're not getting that repetition, or you are just lying back with your hands.
Kids as well. That's the same sort of thing.
Yeah. So I think there's a peak of value, isn't there?
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry, but I mean, that is related to the grappling dummy thing. I'm sorry, like, I appreciate the question and I don't really have the answer. Unfortunately, I know it's a bit of a, piss-takey answer, but like, I would just not bother using a grappling dummy, and I would just try and find someone who you can connect with if you've got a similar schedule with and get in the gym and practice with them as much as you can.
Yeah. I guess the only thing is, figure out what are there's a restricted amount of things you can do on them. Obviously, you can't do things like where you're on bottom, obviously, because they just flop about all over the place. It's going to be top stuff, isn't it? And it's going to be, maybe you want to get better at leg locks and you want to grab hold of one of the legs and just practice getting in and out of various positions and things like that. Then it's got value because, again, you are just carving those pathways. But just be realistic with yourself that you're not going to be able to use it in every way that you can. You know, you might be able to. You could practice just going for arm bars. You know, sit on the top, just go for the arm, just go on both sides, and just, you know, they're not just going to let you do it in a spar or whatever, in a roll. But, you know, there is going to be a moment where you are going to have their arms going to be in that position, and you can kind of get yourself into the you know, throw your leg over, and it might improve your sort of skills in that way. But it's going to be quite restricted, and just make a little list of like, this is what I can use it for, this is what I can't use it for. But don't expect it to replace a partner, obviously, you know.
That's a good answer.
But just, yeah, like I said, find a partner. There's, you know, wherever gym you're at, get on the Facebook group and or whatever, and get on the WhatsApp groups and find someone that can train outside of class. People are up for it. Yeah, mostly. I mean, look, we did it we managed it during COVID, didn't we? You know,
yeah,
bubbles and whatnot.
Yeah, definitely.
That's as close to a sensible answer, I think.
that is the sensible answer. So you can either listen to me or you can listen to Steve. The choice is yours. Yeah, it's a difficult one. Yeah. I tell you, I had a little injury the other day. Popped my rib. I think I popped my rib. No one's actually told me what it is.
Feels like a rib, though, does it?
It feels like a rib. I went to see a chiropractor, and he sort of confirmed that it was a rib, but he didn't actually say what the issue was. I would usually go and see my physio, who would have definitely told me what it was, because he's the best, without a doubt. Best physio. Well, probably one of the best physios in the world. Yeah. Dom Dentry down at City Physio. Shout out City Physio. Go and see him. I don't get any discount or I don't get any feedback, but like tell him that I came to see him. Say, hey, I heard Henry referred me. So that's always good. But yeah, he just knows stuff. He's like a walking MRI. He'll just like sort of put his hands on you. Oh yeah, this is the problem. So anyway, I couldn't see him because I was like, my back just locked up. Like I got like folded up and my back just locked up. And I was like, I need to get this dealt with today because I can't go on like this. Yeah. So just booked in to see a chiropractor that's sort of related to the gym. He kind of moved me around. To be honest, I didn't feel much better afterwards. Like, I'm not like saying I should have felt loads better afterwards, but you know, you want that moment where someone like cracks your back and you go like, oh, relief.
Magic bullet.
That didn't happen. But I did go for an ice bath and a sauna the next day. And I did feel quite a lot better after that. Now, as the day went on, it like I tightened up again. But like next day, like I do feel sort of fairly better. So
interesting.
I don't know if that like made a huge difference or whether I was going to feel better anyway. But like it seemed like it did make quite a difference.
Yeah, and it wasn't like you were. This is the thing. Going back to that placebo thing, you probably weren't expecting that to happen.
I was hoping that something was going to happen. I was going up there because Balance Wellbeing Club, Waterlooville, shout out Sean Cole, great place.
Go and check
Get
them
up
out.
there. Use code PIKE20 for a 20% discount on your bookings. And I think you even get a 25% booking discount if you want to get a membership.
Hello.
So there you go. You can take that one to the bank.
Yep.
I don't get any kickbacks from that. I do get a free membership there, so I guess there is a kickback. But yeah, go and do that. Yep. Anyway, I'm getting up there like once a week. So I was going to go up there anyway, just for general well-being and like, you know, just enjoyment. But I did think, I wonder if this is going to help my back. Like, I feel like it might do because the sauna would like help to relax everything and open it up. The ice bath like helping to reduce a bit of inflammation. And I think it did.
Right. Also, you were expecting. Okay. Interesting. Yeah. It's I mean, again, if it works, if it feels better,
it's
real.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to have a go next week at some point, aren't we?
Yeah, well, we're going to go. We'll do a little bit of a filming and stuff. But what we're going to try and do is, I've spoken to Sean a bit about it. He's a dad, doesn't do jiu-jitsu or MMA, but he's really like into MMA and sort of combat sports and stuff like that. He runs a gym. We're going to sort of try and get him on, hopefully do the episode down there, and that'll be really fun. Talk about sort of, you know, the trials of training and trying to be productive with kids and his thoughts around S&C for combat sports and stuff like that. I think it'll be a good episode, and he can tell us way more about ice bathing and sauna and like the actual sort of, you know, I've spoken to him about it, and he's not like, one of these people who's like, oh yeah, there's all these benefits and yeah, all these research. So like he understands the benefits, but he also understands that some of it's good research, some of it's not so good. Like, so he's a good person to talk to about
quite
it.
Down to earth. Yeah, I'm excited about that one.
Really, yeah, that'll be really good.
Yeah. I've been.
You've done a bit of ice bathing, haven't you?
Yeah, I've got one in the back garden. That I've yet to get it out of storage. It's been in there for a little while, but I used that quite a bit in the past.
How cold was it? Do you know?
I've had it down as low as 7, I think. 7 degrees. So which is, that's fairly unpleasant.
They've got 4 tubs there. They're 8, 6, 4, and 2.
I want to go for the 2. I do.
Such a bro. Such a lad. Yeah, the 2 is painful.
I bet. Yeah.
Like the 8, I started on the 6 last time, and that was like unpleasant, but like it's fine. And I think I did the 4, and then I did the 2, and the 2 was.
So you did them at the same. So you were in and out of the sauna.
So what you do is you go in the ice bath, then you go in the sauna. Amazing. So you go in the ice bath for like, I would say probably max 2 minutes. You don't really need to do longer than that. Yeah. And then you go in the sauna for like 10, 15 minutes. Then you shower. Then you go back in the ice bath, and it's just like a cycle like that for an hour. So like 3 or 4 times go through.
Great.
Yeah, the 2 this time. When I first went there, I did 30 seconds. This time I did a minute, and like it was painful.
Yeah,
like it was like my toes,
like an ache or
no, like genuine pain, like in my joints.
Wow,
like really, like every tub I've done, I've wanted to get out by the end of it.
Yeah,
but that was like that was a minute in the 2. I really wanted to get out by the end of it, and then I did a minute and a half in the 6. And again, like by the time I got to the end of the minute and there's 30 seconds left, I'm like, this is unpleasant.
I mean, that's the thing.
This is unpleasant.
6 is still fucking cold.
Yeah.
It's you're still only a few degrees away from sitting in a block of ice.
Yeah, it's probably a couple of degrees warmer than it is now in this garage.
Yeah, right. Hence, that's the other thing. Like
we're like shivering.
Yeah, that's the other thing. The other thing I didn't mention about the fasting is, fuck me, I cannot get warm. It's. I feel like I'm a reptile at the moment.
It's probably a good thing we didn't go up to the ice bath thing today, because I don't reckon it would be a good thing to do like fasted
after a fast
in a decent fast.
Yeah, and
I don't think you'd recover very well from
it.
And
that level of cold as well.
Yeah, and it's stress.
Yeah,
like the ice bath is like sympathetic stress. So it's like exercise or like work stress. Like it's a stress. Like it's the fight.
Yeah,
activating
you are literally.
In you. Yeah, like so that. You don't want too much of that. You want to dose that appropriately to get the response out of it. Sauna would probably be good for you. Because that's more like parasympathetics. That's more like the other side, the rest and digest side.
It's
open
relaxing.
You up, help you to sort of relax.
Yeah.
So that could be good, but I don't think ice bathing when you're really deep in a fast would be a good thing.
Because you're already kind of in fight or flight, aren't you?
Yeah, you are.
Underneath that on some level.
That's an interesting. I've done a few courses about fasting and nutrition and health and well-being and things like that, and it's something that I've heard. Like when you get that, like because I've done a few jiu-jitsu sessions fasted, and like I've been like, man, I feel fucking good.
Feel
like
light,
fast, sharp, and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And you think, man, this is really good. But really, what it is you are running on stress hormones.
Yeah.
And so any sort of positive feeling that you're getting of like sharpness and like I'm on it and I'm really like it's stress hormones.
It's cortisol or whatever.
Yeah, so you don't really want to be running on that all the time because that's not good for you all the time.
No.
Like in small doses, it's fine and it's a natural bodily response. You increase cortisol when you wake up and things like that. Like it gets you going. But yeah, like some of the things that people say about like the positive benefits of fasting, you think there are positive benefits of fasting, but what you're talking about isn't necessarily like that, like, oh, I feel great. And it's like, yeah, but like maybe the things that are going on under the surface that make you feel great aren't necessarily good. It's like doing a line of coke. You feel great, but however, it's not actually good for you.
That's a great analogy.
How can it not be good for me?
I feel amazing.
Possible tits.
Yeah. I want to talk about anything. Everything's interesting right now. It's good advice. Good advice.
But yeah, so it's about managing your stress, isn't it? I went up there, the first time I went up there, we'd done the Friday morning session, so training quite hard. sort of, it's definitely a red session that Friday morning. Like, it's not like super hard, 'cause we don't do loads of rounds, but the rounds are technical. The people you're rolling with are tough.
It's a high level.
Physical. Like, we often start from standing. So we do like sort of probably 4 rounds. So again, it's not a super hard session. For the young guys, they're probably like, oh, it's not even a hard session. For me and Steve, it's like, I'm fucking, that's quite a hard session. And then I went up to do the ice bathing and the saunering, and I hadn't eaten lunch. And by the time I'd finished, I was in the change room, and I'm like, I need to sit down. I'm feeling like woozy. Feel like I'm going to pass out. Like, and I'm like, all right, like, I fuck myself, like getting all in my head. Like, am I going to be okay? I've got to drive home. But once I'd got out of the change room and stuff and sat down and sort of, I think I got like a cookie or something, and I felt fine. But it made me realise, like, this time I had a banana and I made sure I was well hydrated before I got there, and I was fine.
Yeah, okay. Like, that's been the big one for me, is just keeping the hydration going. You know, it's my wife tried one, a fast, year or so ago, and she got to 48 hours. I think she hadn't clearly hadn't managed to drink enough, and she started to get like sort of heart palpitations, and it was like, I was just like, you need to eat. Just get loads of water and just start eating. That's not cool. That's clearly your body's, you know, crying out for something. So that was why I was just like full on with the water. But yeah, it's a mad one. Yeah, I'm excited. But going back to the wellness centre, I'm excited about giving it all a go. It's a cool place. Yeah, it's, you know, in the middle of Waterlooville High Street, which is like, you know, small little village high street, I suppose. But like when you get in there, once you're in the bit, it's like nice, and you think, oh, it's like, you know, it's warm, and like there's like spa music playing and stuff. It feels nice. You know what I mean? It's a nice little hour out of your day just to focus on you. Yeah, a bit of you time. Yeah, guys, check it out. Definitely check it out. Use code PIKE20, caps on the Pike 20. I think that's it, really. I think we've talked it all out, haven't we? Yeah, I'm loving these microphones. Yeah, it's kind of, it's a new thing. Just sounds silly, but just having to constantly hold it there. Yeah. But at the same time, we just feels like we're just moving more and more towards being pros. Yeah. Let me know what you think about the microphone. Yeah. Well, I was thinking of getting like a light up trim behind here. Do you think that would look good? Ooh. I've had a few bits of feedback about the background. Shit. We could basically, that we could do. We want to get maybe like once we figure out what the logo is going to be, we'll get a Dad Jitsu one. I did make a logo actually. Yeah. Yeah. I haven't shown it to you. Oh, great. Yeah. No, you've seen it. Well, I don't know. Anyway, I did one with I've built out on that. You built out on that one. Okay, cool. Yeah. Oh, we're on the same page. That's good. This year we're going to, by this podcast to the last one of the year this year, you'll see there's going to be dramatic changes. Mm-hmm. Dramatic. Stick with us, guys. Yeah. We'll see. We've come so far. So far. Okay. Nice to see. Watch this fucking episode. Yeah. Come on. The views were a little bit low last time, so we need to bump it up. We're going to be putting more on the socials to get people in. Yeah. Comment, like and subscribe. Do all that. Touch my bell. All those things. Nice to see you. We're 2 away from getting to 50 subscribers. It would be great to smash that this week, and so we can build on that this year and maybe try and get to like 500 by the end of the year. Let's set a stretch goal. Yeah. I feel like we've got at least 2 friends between the 2 of us that haven't subscribed yet that we could bump it up to 50. Probably, yeah. Do you reckon? If you're one of my friends in real life, IRL, yes, please subscribe, please. We like round numbers. Yeah. See you next time. Bye.